Viewers' discretion. Please be aware that the views and opinions expressed by our guest are those of our guest solely, and they are not the views and expressions of the podcast or myself as Madam Speaker and the studios where we are recording. So if you want to come through as somebody who has the right to reply, if the episode is saying anything about you, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. But I want to emphasize that the views and opinions of the guest are solely of the guest and do not represent our channel, our podcast, or myself in any way, shape, or form.
She was unhappy on her side that I'm looking for my mother. One day my mother responded to my message on Facebook.
Okay.
And then we spoke a bit. I remember it was around midnight. And then we spoke a bit and then we decided to meet now. But now she's telling me at that time, she's like, no, for me to actually have you, for you to be born is because I was sexually assaulted in my age. Madam Speaker, I had a lot of questions. I wanted to know, why did she do it? You were nothing. That's why you were adopted.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chess Podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Marimeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing us. We are recording at number 7 Cedric Road in Isandoville. So if you want to come through, maybe you want to start your own podcast, you're more than welcome to hit them up on the number that's appearing on your screen. And also, if you want to come through as our guest, there are 2 numbers which are appearing on your screen. You can choose either one of the 2 numbers and reach out to us and let's sit and have conversations like we're going to be doing today with our beloved brother, Katlego. Okay, I'm the one who introduced him, but he's still going to introduce himself again, and we'll get straight into the reason why we are here today. My brother.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Please introduce yourself in detail to the viewers at home.
All right. My name is Mpho Katlego Masama.
Okay.
I'm popularly known as Katlego on social media.
Okay.
But then I was born in the beautiful city of Polokwane. Not born, but let me say I was raised.
Okay.
There, in a beautiful village by the name of Mahofe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah. There's a reason why you wrote to us. There's a part of your life that you want to share with us.
Yes.
I think let's take it all the way back to where you were either born or raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm here, Madam Speaker, to talk about how I found me, how I found home. So for me, it's just been also the healing process on it.
Okay.
So me finding home started, I could say, when I was born. But I was born in Soweto,
Okay.
Chris Hani Hospital. Then a few days when I was old, it happened that when my mom saw me, I don't know if I should say it's regret.
Okay.
I don't know if I should say she felt hurt.
Okay.
But when she saw me, she felt like it would be very difficult for her to raise me.
Okay.
So we're still in hospital in Soweto. Then she decided that she's going to give me away. So we then she proceeded to move from Soweto to Pretoria.
Okay.
In Pretoria, she went to Department of Social Development. Usually, when you facilitate an adoption, that's the best place to start.
Yeah.
So she started there. She went there and then she met social workers. She explained to reception all the way to people who deal with processing adoption. So she spoke to them and then they told her that she just needs to go to the nearest police station, which is next door, to get an affidavit.
Okay.
So this affidavit is just to have details, especially with the kind of adoption that she wanted. It depends on either it's close adoption or open adoption. Yeah. So when it's open adoption, usually you have to get an affidavit. They have to know where you said you stay and the full details of the parent.
Yeah.
When they asked that, she felt like overwhelmed.
Okay.
So it was something like it's overwhelming. So she then decided that she's gonna leave me just by the door. So when she was going outside, she just took me, she had me wrapped haboti, then she put me down and then she put her picture there with her details. So
that somebody else can come and do the process.
Do the process. Before I go further, I would just say maybe for me, I just appreciated the fact when I had that part, even from my files, I just appreciated the fact that she didn't do otherwise.
Okay.
She left me there. Yes, it was it. I could say it had hope, but she left me there for a couple of minutes, hours, and then when she left me there, someone found me. When they found me, they then placed me in care. It was under Department of Social Development. They didn't have the documents they wanted in full,
Yeah.
but at least I was there. And for them, they saw that I have hope. Every child out there, I think, even though sometimes you are born into such circumstances, hope is there.
Yeah.
So they saw hope for me. And they then said that, no, with this handsome boy, we are going to place him under adoption. My adoption was then facilitated by Child Welfare in Johannesburg. So a beautiful family, Masama family, adopted me in Polokwane. Of course, when they adopted me, we moved from here. We went to Polokwane where they stay. Then when they adopted me, it was a bit, for me, I would say that I never really realized that I was adopted.
Okay. Because of how the treatment was at home?
Yeah, of how the treatment was. And my mother was working a stable job under the government. So for her, it was a thing whereby whatever that she did for me, she did it with love. 2011, they then decided to adopt another child.
Okay.
They adopted my younger sibling. And then when they adopted her, I would say that's where I got to have questions about my adoption. Remember growing up, I didn't know any of this. I was adopted when I had almost like maybe a month, a few weeks. So for me, it was just a thing where I didn't know. But then when my younger sibling came, we had a helper at home. So the helper said like, where do you guys, in Spanish, she said, "Bana ba le ba reka kae? Ke bokae o reka bana ba?" So she didn't have any knowledge what's happening.
That's when you had that light bulb moment to say, oh,
Yes.
basically there's a way that we got here, which is not a usual way.
Yeah, so for me it was, okay, they're saying that my sister has been bought. So what about me? How are children bought? And also I'm getting into my teenage years. So for me, it's also a thing whereby I'm like questioning a lot of things about myself as well. So then the years progressed after they adopted my younger sister. I didn't have much questions. But then my mother got to where she told me that, Mpo, this is what happened. You are adopted. They put me down. My adoption father was still there.
Okay.
They put me down. They told me that, but they didn't say direct. They just said things like her name, and they just kept on saying, "Oh, we appreciate her for giving us such a gift like this." So for me, I was just still curious, but I was able to comprehend what they told me, and then it kind of left me with questions.
Okay, wait, before we get to the questions that it left you with, are your adopted parents the ones that actually narrated the story to you about how your biological mother left you, where she left you?
Yes, so they are the ones that were able to tell me the story, to tell me the details, also comparing it to what they got from their social workers.
Okay.
So yes, that's how they told me. Yeah.
And now when you start having questions now, because they've ignited that, or they've opened a can of worms.
Madam Speaker, I had like a lot of questions. I wanted to know, why did she do it? Why would you decide to do that?
Yeah.
But then 2019, my father died.
Okay.
My adoption father, he passed away. It was a stroke. And also it was more of a painful experience for me because I was still young. And then I remember that morning he suddenly called me. We slept. It was proper. We slept well. Then in the morning he shouts, "Mpo, where are you?" So when I went there to see him, he complained about having problems with his neck, all the way to actually us calling an ambulance. He told me that he's leaving because he did say to me, "Take care of your mother and your sister." He uttered those words before he passed.
Yeah.
So he went into the ambulance. I thought it was just a normal maybe hangover or something. He will be back. He'll be okay. But then when he came back, he had passed on. He didn't come back. For us, we were told that tomorrow, Saturday, we'll go and see him. But we couldn't because 5 a.m. in the morning, That's when we got the news.
Yeah.
So now we buried my father, my adoption father. After burying him, and you know how family politics are.
Yeah.
After a father dies, or let's say a husband dies,
Yeah.
the mother is the one who's going to be seen to be an enemy. You see,
Yeah.
so it was just that how it was. That's how it was, and there were just a bit of toxicity between my mother and my father's family. And then my mother then got to a situation whereby she was raising us, and now it's a bit difficult because when she made this decision,
They made it together.
they made it together.
Yeah.
Now the other half is no longer there.
Yeah.
So that's when my mother allowed me to have like full access to her life.
Okay.
Full access to a way whereby, I did everything almost for her. If she wanted a new car, I would help her to facilitate the finances and everything. But then it was just a thing whereby she was unhappy on her side that I'm looking for my mother. Because now I did say to her that, okay, with the
Felt like some betrayal of some sort.
Yeah, so
is there something that I'm not doing for you?
Yes, so I was asking her a lot of questions, and she said, do you want to go back to your mother? What's going on? Why are you asking all of these questions?
Yeah.
And I wanted answers. And then she then told me that she told me what she knew from what they told her. But I wanted to see my files. I wanted to see everything. So I reached out to the Department of Social Development. I reached out to one of their chief directors, and I told them that this is what I'm experiencing. They told me my mother's names. I can't find her anywhere. They told me everything, but I can't really find her. But then I tried Facebook.
Okay.
When I'm trying Facebook with my mother's real names, the ones that they provided me, when I'm saying it was difficult to find her, but eventually I found a profile that matched what I was always talking about, the person that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I tried to reach out a number of times, couple of months. I couldn't reach her on Facebook, sending friend requests and all of those things. But then because my mother trusted me with her financials, there was a credit card that she trusted me with. So with this particular credit card, there was a Woolworths and Discovery one. So with this particular credit card she trusted me with, I just figured that I'm gonna go search my mother. The other one had funds around 15, another one had funds around 100. So this money is the money that she had put away in case for rainy days.
Yes.
But then I saw it, I was like, you know what? I want to find my mother, and I'm gonna use this particular cards. Madam Speaker, that's where I think our relationship went south with my adoption mother, because when I did what I was doing, remember at this time I didn't even have a driver's license. So there was someone in the family that we know who could help my mother sometimes when she couldn't drive at night. So when this guy came, I'm paying him basically from that card. I'm giving him 500. If he's taking me to Joburg, there's fuel, there's all of those things. I need to find my file. I'm going to Department of Social Development. I'm not getting help. It's bumper to bumper on at the reception of Department of Social Development. So for me, it was a thing whereby now I'm concerned that I'm looking for my own file, but I can't get access to it, So eventually I even went to child welfare, couldn't find it. And at this time, I feel that I need answers.
Yeah.
So then one day my mother responded to my message on Facebook.
Okay.
And then we spoke a bit. I remember it was around midnight. And then we spoke a bit, and then we decided to meet now. We decided that we'll have a meeting.
Yeah.
I told the driver, and I told my other friend, and I said, I want you guys to accompany me to Gauteng. I'll pay for accommodation, I'll pay for everything. I just need you guys to help me to find
this person.
So that's when I spoke to her. She gave me the details, and the details had me even further. They opened the scar. Myself, I've been an activist against GBV. I've been an activist against bullying because I endured that in high school as well.
Yeah.
I've been an activist, not really against, but I've been an activist raising awareness about sexual assault and rape.
Yeah.
So for me, when I spoke to her, she gave me those details. She was like, for you to get here, for me not to want you, because I could question, she seemed very financially stable. But now she's telling me at that time, she's like, no, for me to actually have you, for you to be born, is because I was sexually assaulted in my age. I wanted my father. It's also another reason I was searching. So I searched for her. I was asking for my father. And then after speaking with her about that, I knew that I can't find my father. And now I felt like I had a scar myself, because I never dealt with sexual assault directly
In
myself.
such a close,
So now I'm just thinking, in my head is ringing, you were nothing. That's why you were adopted. They passed you from one person to another. Now I'm questioning my parents. If your real mother didn't want you, how are these people going to,
Yeah.
I was just also thinking about the fact that I had this guy, am I maybe a product of rape? This is what I've asked myself a number of times.
Yeah.
I proceeded to go home after seeing her. I didn't want to talk to her again. I felt like I got conclusion. So I went to my adoption mother. I didn't really tell her much details. But then she found out, and she eventually found out about the cards, which were used for me to find my mother. She saw that I was going at hotels with these people. So they sent her a message eventually. And when they sent her that message, she saw that, there's activity on the cards and it's a lot of money. So she got angry. She called family. They came, my uncles. We had a family member who is a captain at a local station. He sent 2 visible members to come and talk to me on why I used their cards. And also, they even tapped a lot into me trying to build a relationship again with my mother. Why are you doing this to your adoption mother? So basically, then what happened after that is she opened the case for that money, because now Woolworths, they want their money back. Discovery, they want their money. Those were credit cards.
Yeah.
So they want their money back.
Somebody has to be repaying now.
You see?
Yeah.
So she deems them as money that was stolen. She's like, I don't know anything about this money. Then they proceeded to open a case. When they opened this case, when I heard about everything, Madam Speaker, we even went to social workers. The day we went to social workers, because I went to them to basically more like intervene and speak to her so that we can fix. I got my answers now. I was foolish to use her money. I feel like with that one accountability that I did take it. I shouldn't have used her money. I had questions, but then with her, it was just a thing whereby now she feels betrayed. She feels like I stole her money to find the mother that didn't care about me.
Double betrayal.
It's double betrayal.
Yeah.
So then what happened is, when I went to the social workers that day, the social workers then said, you know what's better? Because the case has been opened, let's call the officers to come with a social worker from court to come and solve this matter. So they went, and when they tried to solve this issue, I just felt overwhelmed. I ran to my aunt's place. When I got to my aunt, she knew about what was going on at home. So I told her that I have a headache, so I want pills. She, she had a bag of tablets. Inside, high blood pressure tablets, different pills. Headache. I took pills. I don't know how much. And then I went to the bathroom and I consumed them. She was not there. She was outside. When she came back, she saw that the bag, something is going on. The bag is just there. There's a pack, something of pills. Something is going on. She called my name. I'm not answering. Eventually, they came to the door in the bathroom and they were able to get in and then take me out. They took me to hospital. Getting to hospital, I then stayed another almost 4 weeks because they were trying to intervene and fix the relationship with my mother. Because a lot of people maybe sometimes see adoption as a very bad thing, of which is not. But at that time in the area, they were even calling each and every social worker that is specialized to come and deal with the case, because it's a special adoption case.
Yeah.
They're trying to see how they can go with this. So while I was sitting there, officers came in. There's a day she passed with a bag. She was holding a bag. The officers passed, and then she passed with a bag. Then after she passed, I saw 2 officers, but I didn't really know what's going on. I'm thinking I'm here to be discharged. The psychologist told me that I having maybe separate therapy sessions with her. So maybe things are good. So the officers came in. I saw them. I saw the guns. They're not wearing uniform. And I kind of jumped because I was worried that Am I going to jail?
Jail, yeah.
What's happening? So luckily they tell me that with there's a diversion program. So with what happened in the family, we did go to court, but it was family court. Luckily, I didn't go to be in the center as everyone, as usually how criminals are.
Yeah.
For me, it was a thing whereby we went into something like a family court, and then when we got into there, they said that there are diversion programs that are available. This is, for example, if maybe you're going to be doing community work and things like that. But for me, it was on diversion, which I went to a facility in Polokwane under the government and under this. It's like Nukro. I don't know if they call it Nukro, if you know it. There's a popular one, yes.
Okay.
But I went there. I stayed there for like 5 months getting therapy on rhythm of life, on who I am, on how I should face this life, on how I should go on it. So for me, that was a very good thing that built our relationship. They tried. Social workers could host FGCs to try and reunite the family. But even after I went out of the facility, I was still in a situation whereby we haven't mended our things.
The
We are not at peace.
relationship,
Yes,
yeah.
we're still not at peace even today. So, but for me, it was more on how this journey has been for me, how I have been trying to find healing, and also how finding my mother took a huge knock on me. Madam Speaker, this whole years, and remember at this time I'm young, this whole time I'm trying to figure out my life. I have this constant reminder that, your mother, this is how she conceived you. This is how you came to earth. It's just been also rumors when you are growing up and they're like counting. There were signs. Sometimes there are signs whereby they're saying that your mother is this old and you are this old. How is it possible? So I had all of those things growing up as well, which had a very big impact on me and my mental health. Yeah.
When you say the age comparison, is it with your biological mom or with your adoptive mom?
It was with my adoption mother.
Okay.
Because as I said, she also had a younger daughter.
Yes.
So the younger daughter will find out she's 8 and she's maybe 55.
So the math is not.
So people were calculating it in that way and they're like, yeah.
And what was the last conversation that you had with your adopted mom?
So after I went out the facility, I spoke to her. We had connected. I think we were also going out sometimes. We tried to mend the relationship, but then we couldn't. The last time I saw her, I probably have more than 2 years now without seeing her.
And what do you think is the reason why it cannot be mended?
I believe it's the betrayal.
She's unable to.
She's unable to
get over or whatever.
Yes, over what happened. The betrayal. She felt like I betrayed her, not only once, but also the money. The embarrassment. Because we're going to church every weekend. She's a person who believes in Christ. We used to go to church every single day, Madam Speaker, every single Sunday. But then now I'm not coming to church anymore. The Christians or the servants of God now asking questions. What's going on with Mpo? Why is she not coming to church?
Yeah.
So the embarrassment, also me, basically she felt like I betrayed her in a way. Yeah.
And it's not gonna be mendable anymore.
It's not gonna be mendable anymore. She was willing to see my biological mother though. That's one thing that she was open to. So when they were doing FGCs, they would try to get them to be together in the facility. Trust me when I say there's a lot of social workers that were involved in this case, up to even, the Limpopo department, trying to find alternatives on how we can resolve this, but it's it's more impossible. And for me, it was just more of finding closure, finding myself and moving from this, so that tomorrow I can be able to stand and say that I walked through this, I walked through fire, and walking through this fire, God has been there for me. My family has been there. We had our situations, we had our issues, but we are now on another level. Yeah. So that's what I had hoped for when I tried to get peace with my mother.
And how's your relationship with your sister?
My relationship with my younger sister is, yeah, she, we don't talk, but I saw her at a school some other time. And then there was also a time whereby I saw that recently she was following my TikTok. So she's starting to also be maybe tech savvy. So she's starting to try. We follow each other, but we don't talk. So there's no relationship.
Yeah.
But I know she's trying. She wants to reach out. I want to reach out. It's just like bridge that's between us. Yeah.
So if you were to be like completely honest, with yourself, obviously, what do you think is the biggest hindrance for you to maybe be in touch with your sister or anybody else in the family for that matter?
Okay. I think for me, they are my family. That's the family that I know. That's my mother raised me. Even every time I say my mother, when I'm explaining my story to everyone, every day I say this. I remember there was an officer who said to me, "You keep on referring to her as your mother more than your biological mother." Actually, when I say my biological mother, I call her Mani. But then now with my mother, I always say my mother because I know her as my mother. She raised me. She got me to where I am. So I feel like with my father, with my mother, my uncle, my younger sister, me trying to keep in touch with them is to mend the relationship because there's no other family I know apart from them.
Yeah.
They're the ones that raised me. They're the ones that laid the foundation for me.
Yeah. And if your mother ever got a chance to watch this video, what would you say to her?
Okay, so what I would say to my mother is maybe ke kopa maitshwarelo for what happened. What happened was for me to try and find closure. What I did was for me to try and find my roots, know where I come from. I love you. I've always loved you. So I think for me doing that, most importantly, was to find my mother, to get the background on why she did what she did. So I want you to know that I loved you. I never felt any less when I was part of the family. When my uncle treated me like my mother, like my father. So when I was with the family, I always felt like I'm present at all times. So the message that I would like to deliver to my mother is, no matter what, I want you to know that I love you. I will always love you. What happened, I would like for it to be in the past. I really hope that you can get to forgive me for the decisions that I took, especially at that time. So, yeah.
Yeah. I really pray that when she sees this video, she takes it in. Yeah, because I do believe that for as long as we're still breathing, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. There's always space, and I pray that one day she opens up her heart, and I believe that that day is going to be very soon. And moving on to your biological mother, because you are saying that you met up with her the first time, but I hear you saying that you call her Mani, which in my head I'm thinking then probably there's some sort of like relationship that has been established between you and your biological mother.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Okay, so with her, she has moved on after what happened, after her giving up me away for adoption. She moved on and had a family.
Okay.
She had more children, not two more children now.
Okay.
And for me, since what happened with my family, my adoption family, I thought maybe let me see on how we could maybe get together, her and I, in terms of maybe have a mother and relationship son in a way. The reason I decided on this is because I have half siblings and I would love to be involved in their lives.
Yeah.
So for me to try and build and establish this relationship with her and even call her Mani is because they are younger children that are involved. And I would like to build a relationship with them and actually have something going on. On Christmas Eve, you wish to get a message for Christmas, you don't get that because your family, the things that are going on with my family. So yeah, I think for me, building the relationship was on that.
Okay. So what is the current status?
The current status, I would say, is we are getting there.
Okay.
We still in the process. There is a third party involved who is, I could say, a partner. So they are making things difficult. They have been. So the relationship, not easier to see my half siblings because there's someone who's involved who is preventing that. So yeah, we're still getting there.
And when you had the conversation with your mom, I just want to get into that conversation to say, right now, what is she saying? Is she keen on building the relationship with you? Are there any, is there anything that is being mended from her end?
I could say from her side, the way I'm seeing things, because I feel like the third party that is involved is in a way maybe a reason for her not to try and establish this relationship. The reason I'm saying this is because sometimes when we're supposed to meet, supposed to do things that maybe she could be there for me, she hides behind this particular person. So for me, it's pretty much difficult for me to build a relationship with her. I would say I feel like she's not keen
Okay.
to build this relationship. I feel like for me, because the other time she asked me where I would like to study, so that maybe she could help me with that. So for me, especially with where she wants me to study, because it's in a different province, she's asking me, where do you want to study? She's happy to finance that. But at the same time, I'm just thinking for her, it could be a way of getting rid of me. You know, the signs, everything when we talk, the inconsistencies of not being able to see her in person all the time just shows me that, I don't think she's ready to build a relationship.
Would you say then that you are forcing things when you look at how things are happening right now?
Yeah, no, Madam Speaker, I feel like I am forcing this relationship with her. I feel like with her, I'm forcing it, I'm pushing it. I don't feel like she wants to be involved. And sometimes that's why I look at the back. I look at back and I just think that, was it even worth it to try and search for her? Yes, I wanted answers. But then thereafter, what I had, the psychological impact it had on me, I thought maybe now should be trying to say that, my son, you looked for me. I wanted to have an open adoption, but because the social workers were giving me a lot of rules and whatever, I decided to leave you there. I knew they will take care of you. Then now I'm trying to build a relationship because now I found you. But it's not that. It's more like she left me there. She didn't want me anymore. Then now I'm the one who's now trying to go back to someone that didn't want me.
Yeah.
You see, so that's how I just feel right now.
To a certain degree, I feel like we make excuses for people, and I can tell that as you are speaking, you are trying your level best to not paint her in any way possible, in a bad way or anything like that. But the truth of the matter is that, in my own opinion, somebody who, if she wanted to make the time, regardless of whether there's an obstacle on the way or not, there was absolutely nothing that was going to stop her, But I do hope and believe that as time is going by, she's, adjusting to the situation. And also there's guilt that plays a big part in terms of people being able to relate to other people. It could be that every single time when she looks at you, she feels guilty of what she actually did. But also another thing that I want us to touch on, I think I've seen this on TikTok a couple of times, where a lady was saying that if your parents gave you up for adoption, I think that lady was saying that she was given up for adoption. And oh, wait, no. The story is that the lady was saying that if she gave her child up for adoption, she wouldn't want that child to look for her. Because the reason why she couldn't even keep the child is because she didn't have the capacity. She didn't have it then. She probably won't have it 80 years from now. You get? So then she was saying, so it was a back and forth, with a lot of people who were saying, some of them, they were adopted and they were saying, no, it's actually very insensitive because I have questions, I want answers, and I'm supposed to get the answers from you. And she's saying on the other hand that, look, in as much as you want questions, especially in cases where it's a close adoption, to say, the only thing I gave you is life, I could have gotten rid of you if I wanted to, but I couldn't. So I gave you life. But if I wanted to keep you, I would have kept you, or I would have come back and look for you, which is now a painful thing, for which is the reason why I do understand where your adoptive mother is coming from, to say your mom who gave birth to you, under whatever circumstances, she decided that she cannot keep you, because of her own reasons. But there's this person who literally chose you, when you look at your adoptive mom and your biological mom, your mom, I don't want to sugarcoat it, rejected you for her own reasons, but your adoptive mom chose you, right? And for somebody who rejected you, when you keep going back to them, you become like, you are annoying that person, because why are you here? Because I didn't even want to keep you for my reasons, which are valid, right? True. And then the other person, on the other hand, is saying, I chose you. Are you saying that I'm not good enough, or what I'm doing is not enough? Is that the reason why you keep looking for whatever that you are looking for? Which obviously, because Bona, your mother, cannot relate to the void that comes with being an adopted child, because they are not. So they wouldn't relate to exactly what it is that you are feeling and how you are supposed to handle what you're feeling. But I think based on your story, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done, and on both ends. I want you to always remember that your adoptive mother chose you together with her husband. And the fact that the person that she chose you with is not here anymore is not making things any easier. She's probably going through so much to a point where she feels like if this person was here, he was going to know what to do. Maybe even when they were going through the processes of adopting children, he knew better. But now he's not here anymore, which makes things even worse. I, for one, get so frustrated when I cannot figure out answers to things that I know that there's nobody else who's going to come out here and figure out the answers for me. I have to figure those answers for myself. And I think there's a lot of hurt and damage that was done, not just by you getting the credit cards and all of that stuff, for the fact that this person chose you, and you going to look for somebody else kind of feels like you are rejecting the fact that she chose you, and you are also, saying that she's not enough. So do give her a whole lot of grace, for her to be able to come around. And in as much as you are the victim of circumstances, you didn't choose to be here. But all I'm saying is that on your end, give a room, and try your level best never to give up on her. And when it comes to your biological mother, on the other hand, I feel like it really requires you accepting the fact that this person, because of her reasons which are valid to her, didn't choose me. It just on the other end, I feel like it's simpler in terms of the solution. Yes, the pain and the traumas and it's a pain. It's a knife in your back, But the solution is quicker on the other hand, because then it just requires that with everything that you have told me, with everything that you are saying happened until I was conceived and where I am, all that is needed is for me to accept the fact that you didn't choose me. You can have that relation if and when you can be cordial with each other, but the effort that you are putting on this end, if you can just, shift it a bit and move it a bit to the other end where it can yield results, I think you should do that. And the reason why I think that would be a thing is because you have experienced your adoptive mother's love. You know how it's like. When you've experienced something or you've experienced someone, it stays in your mind that I know this person is capable of loving me. I know this person is capable of taking care of me, of hearing me. So because you know already, you are familiar with your mother's love, and you know she's capable of loving you. If you pour more into that, it can yield good results. Because on the other hand, maybe it can, but I would say put more of your eggs in this basket. That's just my take on your situation.
No, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Yeah, I think, for me, I have tried both sides.
Yeah.
Your advice is highly regarded. Thank you so much for that. I did try both sides to try and mend the relationships. I think, yes, is both feel the way they feel. And I'll put my attention onto my mother, my adoption mother. As I said, she raised me from when I was young to where I am now. So she is my number one priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just need also myself. I feel like with the therapy that I got, it helps. It helped. But sometimes you just need someone to point the direction for you. When you are young, you can make decisions that are hasty, very quick, and then sometimes you will crash and burn.
Yeah.
But then, I think for me, my relationship with my adoption mother right now is my priority. With your advice, psychologists, therapists, counselors, everyone who intervened said, shared the same words of sentiments with you that maybe it's best if I fix my relationship with my adoption mother.
Yeah. But also the most important thing, don't forget Mpo in the process. Don't forget yourself in the process. I mean, everybody who is involved in all of this, they're all adults. They're all older than you. And sometimes you need to just rest. Give yourself a break as well. Yes, you made mistakes as a child. You became curious. You did what you had to do. So you need to really give yourself a break as well. And you cannot be punishing yourself, through all of this process to a point where now it's like it's all your fault that you are here. It's not even your fault that you were born, and it's not your fault that who decided to take you and who decided to not take you. But you need to be kinder to yourself as well. You need to get to a point where you forgive yourself for some of the things that you did to get to a point where you had to make decisions that have now bruised even the relationship that you have with your mom. So yeah, you need to give yourself a break. Yeah, I feel like that is a thing that you need to do. I don't know if maybe from your story, if there's somebody who is in this situation where they're adopted and they don't know where to start, what would you advise that person?
Okay, so my advice is the minute you consider adoption, that's a very good thing. You are turning into a beacon of hope for someone else. It's a very good decision, great choice. And then when you go to, if you want to adopt, you'll then proceed to go to National Department of Social Development, of which they will guide you. Of course, they will look at a number of factors. If you're working, if you'll be able to take care of the child, the community as well. And then the process will then begin from there. It takes time. It depends on who is looking to adopt and as well as the factors that contribute towards that. But then also what I will just mention is, adoption is a very good thing. If there's someone out there who's considering it, they should definitely hit the green button. Even though it can be a long process, you finding the child and the child that you love, being that beacon of hope, trust me, that builds into something very much incredible. There was a video on TikTok, if I could reference it, and then it was a Chinese girl who was very, very young. I think she was 5, and she kept on, she was talking to someone and she kept on saying that when you adopted Lily and myself, Lily's the young, it was a baby. And when you adopted Lily and I, oh my goodness, my heart went poof. Like she really loved that moment. So it starts from even when we are young. So yeah, if you would like to adopt, there's a lot of things that you have to consider, of course, whether you are working, where to apply, and then also, of course, to see the ages. Of course, when you're adopting, it depends, but on what a particular individual is looking for.
Yeah.
But usually it's nice when you adopt a child when they're still young, and then you get to raise them. There's no difference really it just shows more that even family is more about, family is not about blood.
Yeah.
It's more about you coming together. You can build a family from work, but this is how you could do it, and you couldn't even be more proud.
Yeah. I believe that based on your experience, or what you are sharing with us, discovering that you are adopted can really come with a lot of identity crisis. If there's somebody who's been adopted, or they're finding out today that they're adopted and they're going through all sorts of identity crisis, what can you say to that person?
Okay, so to that person, what I would definitely advise is reflect. When you're reflecting, when you do your self-introspection, you'll find out about the issue at case. When you find out that you're adopted and you're trying to navigate, do a self-introspection. Once you find or navigate what you're looking for, are you trying to build a relationship with your biological parents? Are you gonna go and search for them? If you're in that stage, what I would recommend is talk to a counselor, talk to someone who's a professional. They're everywhere, and government social workers are the ones that come most recommended, because they're the ones dealing with such cases. So if you find yourself in this, the best thing is to go to social workers. Searching and going out all on by yourself could hurt you.
Yeah.
Me trying to find my mother at that time and walking the streets of Joburg with the people that were like my friend or acquaintances was not safe.
Yeah.
So usually when you want to find your adoption mother, trust me, whether it's under foster care, which is slightly different, or under adoption, it's a seamless process. You just have to contact your social worker, the local one. Then once you find your local worker, they'll be able to guide you through the process, as well as the psychological impact it comes with. Because now you might not be able to navigate on how you should proceed with what you have met, your situation. They are the best that could guide you, really.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you so much. I think that information is going to come in very handy. I appreciate you being able to share it with us. For those who want to get in touch with you, where do they get you?
Okay, so on social media, my handle is MKRems.
Okay.
And then all my other LinkedIn, Facebook is Katlego Masama.
Okay.
If they search Katlego Masama, they'll find me.
Okay. Before I ask my beloved sister to switch off the cameras, is there anything that you have left behind that you may not have touched on?
No.
You covered.
I've touched on it.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you being able to share with us. I think this episode is going to really help a lot of people, from different angles. I think that's why I was asking a message to your mom, somebody, like there's a lot of people who are involved in this whole setup that I think you being selfless enough to want to share your experience with everybody is just going to help a lot of people. And I want to say thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. To the viewers at home, thank you so much for joining in. Please do leave a comment in the comment section and tell us what you think about today's episode. And also, please do reach out to Mpho if you want, to engage, and also if you can relate and you don't know how to start and you literally just want somebody to talk to. Please do reach out. And also, if you want to come through and be our guest, you're more than welcome to reach out to us so that we can sit and have conversations. With that being said, thank you so much for joining in. I will see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Mwah.